All right, let's just jump right into this because we've all been there, right? That sinking feeling in your stomach when you realize you've messed up at work. Today, we're going to break down how one simple scheduling error turned into an absolute masterclass in accountability. And more importantly, how you can use the exact same blueprint to turn any professional screw-up into a real opportunity to build trust. And it really is a bummer, isn't it? That quote from the guy at the center of our story just perfectly captures the dread we all feel. I mean, what happens when your first impression isn't just a little off, but a complete and total failure? When you miss a huge meeting, or you double book yourself, or you just plain drop the ball? Well, that is exactly where our story begins. So let's meet Dr. Shade Saban. He's a lecturer who found himself in that exact nightmare scenario. He made what he called a fashla, which is just a great word for a screw-up. And his response was so incredible that it basically gives us a step-by-step guide for handling our own mistakes. So let's break down exactly what went down. The problem here? It's pretty straightforward, but it's a big one. On one hand, Dr. Taban had a really important exam to proctor for reservist soldiers. A serious commitment. On the other hand, he had the very first class of a brand new course kicking off a new semester. And yeah, in a classic, all-too-human error, he scheduled them for the exact same time. So just picture this for a second. You're a student. You're probably a little excited, maybe a little nervous for the first day of class. You log onto Zoom, all ready to meet your new lecturer, your classmates, and you're just met with an empty screen. No message, no lecturer, nothing. The frustration would be immediate. As Dr. Savan put it himself, a student logs on and nothing. What is this? That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've just made a terrible first impression. You've wasted a bunch of people's time, and you've kind of broken their trust before you've even said hello? So what do? Send a quick, generic "so sorry" email? Blame the scheduling software? Nope. Dr. Tasabin did something way, way more powerful. His response gives us this simple but honestly profound three-step blueprint. It all starts with what I'm calling radical ownership, then it moves to transparent communication, and it finishes with real, actionable compensation. See, this isn't just an apology. It's a complete recovery plan. Okay, let's dig into step 1, full personal responsibility. The number 1 rule here, no excuses. It's about immediately and just totally saying, this was my fault. No blaming external factors, no hiding behind corporate speak, just pure personal accountability. This quote, man, this is the absolute core of it all. Dr. Tsaban doesn't say the university had a scheduling conflict. He says, this is my mistake. I am flawed. He completely separates the error from his institution and just takes it all on himself. That kind of vulnerability is so disarming, and it's the bedrock for rebuilding trust. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it means admitting it was your fault, straight up. It means showing you actually get the real-world impact. He said, I completely respect your time. And it means being honest about how bad you feel about it, which builds empathy. He admitted, the more I imagine the magnitude of the letdown, the more I get bummed out myself. So, once you've owned it, you can't just go silent. You have to open up the lines of communication. Step 2 is all about creating a safe space for the people you let down to actually respond, without making things worse. It's got to be a dialogue, not a monologue. This is just such a powerful statement. He isn't just broadcasting an apology out into the void. He's actively inviting feedback. He's telling his students, point blank, that it's okay to be frustrated with him, to be angry, and that he's ready to listen to all of it with acceptance. See what that does? It totally transforms a one-way apology into a real two-way conversation. So you can see the key ingredients here, right? He gives an apology midam libi. It's a Hebrew phrase that basically means from the blood of my heart. You can feel how sincere that is. He then opens himself up to whatever feedback comes his way, and crucially, he validates their feelings. He says, whoever is still bummed out by me, it's okay. Let that feeling out. I totally get it. And now for the final step, which is where the rubber really meets the road. Look, words are essential, but without action, they're pretty empty. Step 3 is all about providing practical, tangible compensation to prove your apology is more than just talk. And notice how this perfectly mirrors step 1. He owned the mistake personally, and now he is owning the solution personally. He isn't passing the buck or looking for some easy fix. He's committing his own time and his own effort to make things right, which just reinforces that incredible sense of personal responsibility. And his action plan wasn't vague at all. It was super clear. First, he offered to immediately upload short videos that covered the missed material, so students who had set aside that time could still get something out of it. Second, he promised the makeup class would be scheduled with them collaboratively at a time that worked for everyone. And finally, he committed to proving this was a one-time fluke. All right, let's tie all of this together. When you combine that radical ownership with transparent communication, and then you back it up with real action, something pretty amazing happens. The mistake itself starts to fade into the background, and what's left is the integrity of your response. And this is the big takeaway here. A screw-up that's handled this well is no longer just a negative event. It actually becomes a defining moment, a milestone that shows your character and your commitment more powerfully than if you'd never made the mistake in the first place. You hadn't just fixed a problem. You've actually built stronger, more resilient trust. So, as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this question. Think about a mistake you've made, big or small. Using this blueprint, how could you have turned it, or better yet, how can you turn your next one into your next great opportunity to build trust? Thanks for watching.